And this is the local cases in Victoria dating back to the beginning of the year, the tail end of that sort of Christmas, New Year's cluster. We saw another little one here, but then here. We've got 4 cases 2 days ago. We've got 10 cases yesterday, 12 today, and that 12 includes the one that was reported first at yesterday morning's press conference, but didn't happen before the midnight cutoff. So it's counted officially in today's numbers. That's why it's 12, even though we've only learned of 11 new ones today. We don't know. We don't have the precise breakdown of every single one of those. That wasn't to hand in the press briefing that we heard a short time ago. But the Chief Health Officer, Brett Sutton, said it does seem like all of these are linked. They've been linked to a known source of infection. That's a really good sign. And the other thing that we've learned is the contact tracing has been going very quickly. They've isolated and tracked down and put into isolation the first contacts, the second contacts, and the third contacts. So it's 3 rings around every case within around about 24 hours of those cases being found. So that's a really good sign that this contact tracing effort does appear to be doing its work. It's not having the same problems that we saw back in June of last year when things got out of control largely, in large part at least, because contact tracing couldn't keep up. It looks like it is keeping up at the moment. But what we're seeing is a big geographic spread of cases, exposure sites really across a very wide area, more than 150 of them. Now that is getting to be quite a large list, more than 10,000 close contacts being managed, and that is why we're seeing the significant move into a 7-day lockdown, so that any new cases going forward from here won't generate hundreds of new close contacts. We'll be looking at smaller numbers of close contacts because they haven't had as much chance to be in the community while infectious. That's where we're at, 26 cases at the moment. There will likely be more of them. Certain environments, there's one workplace that apparently more than 10% of the people working there have tested positive now. Certain environments are causing problems. This thing is continuing to spread through clusters. That's why we are, sadly, where we are now. This is not a place that anyone in Australia wanted to be, let alone the people of Victoria and Melbourne in particular, who suffered through the longest lockdown in Australia last year. Sadly, we find ourselves there again.
And Casey, tell us a bit more about how this situation has progressed in comparison to other outbreaks we've seen.
Yeah, it's worth remembering it's pretty common with significant sized outbreaks that we will see a lot of cases at first, but then they will start to tail off. And that is contact tracing doing its job. That is getting on top of these, tracking down all of the cases that exist when that first case is found very quickly. Well, let me just show you the most recent sort of larger outbreak that we saw in another state. That's New South Wales, the Northern Beaches outbreak, which started with just a small number on one day, very quickly blew out to 20 or more for a few days. Remember, that was a really large super spreading event, a concert at a bolo in the Northern Beaches of Sydney, which really spread that through much of the Northern Beaches. But they did come back under control, not without some mystery cases, not without new clusters being created, but the numbers did come back down again. Hopefully we see that kind of thing again in Victoria. And let me just put the two, the New South Wales and the Victorian one, on the same chart for you. And you can see the numbers we're seeing in Victoria right now, still smaller than what we've seen through the Northern Beaches outbreak in New South Wales. So that still, you know, a grip. Things have not spiralled out of control super quickly, but you can see why the government's gone to make the decision it has.